What up, y'all? So, basically, I'm going live just to talk about this situation with Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis. To be honest, I don't like it, and I honestly feel like the reason why Terence Crawford is discrediting Tank Davis's win over Gamboa is because, for one, Terence Crawford fought Gamboa. Gamboa won the early rounds of that fight, and he also knocked Terence Crawford down. He hurt Terence Crawford in that fight. So, being that Gervonta Davis completely dominated that entire fight and didn't lose, he didn't lose more than a round in that fight. So, I think that's kind of why Terence Crawford is, kind of attacking Gervonta Davis. Not only that, I think he's a little spiteful towards the entire PBC as a whole. He hasn't been able to get any big name fights, and that's because he re-signed with Top Rank. And my question to Terence Crawford is: if you really want all the big fights and all the big names are over with Fox PBC, why in the world would you sign back with Bob Arum, who, for one, hasn't been making you happy, and for two, is known not to really take care of black fighters? Um, Floyd Mayweather was really unhappy with him. You've already seen a young Shakur Stevenson having problems with him. So why is it that you re-signed to this man after claiming that you want all the guys over on PBC? It makes absolutely no sense. And you say that the wrong side of the street is an excuse, this, that, and the other. Okay, well, we'll play it from your end. Okay, if this is an excuse, which I don't believe it is, because negotiations are a factor in whether or not fights get made. So the main thing that promoters argue about is who's the A side, who's the B side. Terence Crawford thinks he's the B side for any PBC fighter, based off of him only winning 4 fights at 147. Sorry, my guy, but I don't even see you as an A side with Danny Garcia, being that Danny Garcia has accomplished way more at 147 than you have. But anyways, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate. Say that the wrong side of the street is just an excuse. Well, this is an excuse that they've been making for years, since before you re-signed to Top Rank. So an ambitious fighter, a hungry fighter, somebody that wants to unify, somebody that wants to be undisputed at welterweight division, wouldn't re-sign to the same promoter that hasn't been getting them big fights. They're going to cross that street and go over there with all the people that they're trying to fight. In-house fights are way easier to make, and Al Heyman is a genius. We've seen it. All the biggest fights have happened with Al Heyman. Not only that, all boxers become their own boss when they're signed to Al Heyman. You hardly ever, you don't see this man in front of cameras. We hardly ever see how Al Heyman. He's like the ghost of boxing. Like, he's not all up in the videos, dancing and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Join Death Row. God damn it! Like, I just don't get why Terence Crawford, with all these goals and ambitions, would sign back to Top Rank. It makes absolutely no sense. And to me, if you want to criticize Gervonta Davis's performance when he didn't get knocked down, he didn't get hurt, he dominated the entire fight, then let's talk about the fact that you got dropped by a journeyman. My guy, humble yourself, bro. Like, I don't. If you like, you want to be undisputed and you want to say you're the greatest, but you show vulnerability, and everybody is trying to say, like, Terence Crawford fans are trying to say that Mean Machine is slept on and he's a better fighter than we all think. I'm sorry, but he was ranked as a C class fighter before he fought Terence Crawford. We're not going to skip past that like that wasn't the case. Terence Crawford got dropped by a journeyman. Nobody really knew who this guy was. Very, very, very few people knew who he was. I'm gonna be honest. Even though I cover boxing and I do these videos on boxing and I watch boxing, I didn't know who Mean Machine was. I had no clue who this guy was. But now all I know him as is the guy that dropped Terence Crawford and wasn't supposed to. So when you come off a victory like that, you can't criticize somebody else's victory at a lighter division. It makes no sense. For one, Terence Crawford was the bigger guy against Gamboa. Uh, Gervonta Davis didn't make weight at first, but he did end up making weight. He moved up in weight to fight Gamboa, so he was not the bigger guy. I mean, this whole situation just sounds pretty hypocritical to me. I mean, you're like the big bad wolf in PBCs in a brick house. You're doing all that huffing and puffing and blowing houses down, but Sean Porter calls you out and you don't want to fight because he's your friend, but he's okay with fighting you. And last statement I heard from Sean Porter about Terence Crawford, period, is that he's a hypocrite for the fact that he criticized Gervonta Davis and did all this talking about him won all the PBC guys, but a PBC guy, one of the top PBC guys, calls him out and he wants no smoke. And people are saying, well, not people, Terence Crawford fans are saying that it makes absolutely no sense for Terence Crawford to fight Sean Porter. Why doesn't it make sense? Because he doesn't have a belt? Oh, well, the last guy you fought didn't have a belt. If you want to make a name for yourself at the welterweight division, you have to go through Sean Porter. He's a test for everybody. The only three people that beat him did not get easy wins over him. He made it a difficult fight for everyone he has faced. Terence Crawford's not special. And seeing how that journeyman dropped him, the pressure that Sean Porter comes with, he'll probably knock the guy out or stop him. I mean, Terence Crawford ain't gonna knock him out. I know that because I stick to my guns and I pay very close attention. If Errol Spence with a planted foot and a left hook when he is a southpaw fighter didn't knock Sean Porter out, I guarantee you, Terence Crawford switch fighting behind ain't gonna knock him out. Not at all. And as I've said in some of my earlier videos, Terence Crawford might not want to switch back and forth from orthodox to southpaw with Sean Porter because Sean Porter's pressure is relentless. He will be on him the whole time, and he might catch him in the middle of him switching. So he's not going to be able to do that, which is one of his most popular attributes, the thing that people talk about the most. He's ambidextrous. He can hurt you with both hands, but I mean, I haven't really seen him. He doesn't have one punch KO power at all. Not from what I've seen. So I mean, y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm convinced Terence Crawford is a little delusional, as he should be. Every fighter should feel like he's the best and he's gonna win. But my guy, at least fight a few more fights at 147. Because I tell you one thing, you get in there with the top welterweights right now, you're gonna get hurt, bro. That journeyman was the best guy you fought at 147. And people want to keep giving credit to Jeff Horn because he got a freaking regional title. I don't care about that, man. It ain't no world title. It's a regional title. A region usually covers a couple states. He's not a world champion right now. Nobody ever said Jeff Horn wasn't good enough to be a regional champion. Some people have gained regional championships within their first 3 or 4 fights. And y'all are trying to brag on Terence Crawford's resume by mentioning the fact that Jeff Horn has gained 2 regional belts. Are you kidding me? But the same people want to discredit Errol Spence for unifying the division by defeating Shawn Porter, which, by the way, he fought Shawn Porter the way Shawn Porter wanted him to fight. He beat Shawn Porter at his own game. But somehow, some way, y'all believe that Terence Crawford is the A side over Errol Spence. Terence Crawford needs to be humble, accept that B side ticket to get that fight made. You don't have the resume at 147 to make demands. You don't. Y'all can stop me if I'm wrong. Well, I know I'm not wrong. I don't believe I'm wrong. If you believe I'm wrong, say something. 9 times out of 10, anybody who actually pays attention to boxing agrees with exactly what I'm saying. Terence Crawford's got much more work to do. This fight with Shawn Porter is the only way for him to take a shortcut. Make Shawn Porter your fifth welterweight fight. If you beat him, that's your ticket. Everybody's going to want to fight you now. Think about it. Keith Thurman had a close fight with Shawn Porter, and it was pretty controversial, in my opinion. He's going to want to see you if you beat Shawn Porter. Danny Garcia had a close loss to Shawn Porter. He's going to want to see you because if he can beat you, then that will rectify his loss to Shawn Porter. If you beat Shawn Porter and you do it in a dominable fashion, Errol Spence, the guy that you want to fight the most, is definitely going to get in that ring with you. Because you just fought the guy that he got his last victory over in a close fight. Once you fight all these guys, win, lose, or draw, you're going to get Manny Pacquiao's attention, and you might actually get that fight. Manny Pacquiao is looking for the perfect guy for him to retire afterwards. Why not from the same stable and switch to the same stable? Come on, man. Like, in my personal opinion, Terence Crawford's doing what a lot of boxers do. They call somebody out and make negotiations difficult. But the fact that they called them out and they're not getting big fights, but that other person is moving on and getting great fights. To everybody else, it looks like, oh, all of them are ducking this guy that's not getting no great fights. Nah, this is not anybody who understands the politics of boxing, which there are politics in boxing. Anybody who understands them knows that trick. Gervonta Davis, and don't get me wrong, like I have nothing against the guy. I like him as a fighter. But for a while, he wanted Loma. But whenever Mayweather said he's going to negotiate a fight with him and Loma, there was a problem after that. They got into it. I hate to use him as the example because there's plenty more that do it, but he's the biggest name. Terence Crawford's doing the same thing. Oh, I want Spence, and I want all the PBC guys. Let me at him. Meanwhile, this is him at 3 fights, with his biggest name being Benavidez, who had 1 arm and 1 leg. Now you hear him say things like, well, I mean, it ain't no point calling their name now. Everybody knows I want all the PBC guys. There's no point in calling names. All right. So what happens whenever Errol Spence unifies the division and gets every other belt, cleans house, and comes for you next? You gonna put your money where your mouth is? You gonna accept that B side, or are you gonna continue with this BS diva crap you're pulling? You know you're not the A side. You fought 4 guys. 4 guys at welterweight division. You don't get to be the A side in the welterweight division. You want to go somewhere and be the A side, go back down to 135 or 140. Fight one of them. But at 147, at the welterweight division, you do not get to be the A side. You have not beat a formidable opponent yet. Amir Khan was on his way out. He had been knocked out multiple times. Multiple times. You talking about Gamboa losing, getting stopped by a guy with 12 losses? Okay, but you bragging that like if beating him doesn't mean nothing, then why does you beating Amir Khan mean anything? That's some hypocritical stuff, bro. Like, if you want the fight, you want the fight. If you don't, you don't. Like, why can't boxers just be honest? Sean Porter is the one guy I can honestly say wants everybody. He will fight anybody. And yeah, for a while he tried to say, "Oh, that's my friend. We're going to talk it out and all that stuff." But now he wants to smoke. He ain't talking that friend stuff no more. He letting you do all that stuff, all that soft stuff. Once his dad got out there and said, "Hey, we'll take Bud," they talk about these things. Sean Porter and his father are like this. They talked about it. Sean Porter is all for it, bro. The only person that's not up for it is you. Even Bob Arum made a statement saying that they would love the Sean Porter fight. The only one that don't want that fight is Terence Crawford. And he's saying it doesn't make sense. How does it not make sense? Manny Pacquiao is going to fight somebody else right now. He's already picked his guy. Errol Spence won't be fighting again until May. We're just now getting out of December. So you're going to go on a 5-month layoff to wait for one of these guys instead of fighting somebody in between. You don't make sense. Fighting Sean Porter makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. He's a former 2-time champion. He's the guy that everybody knows that they're going to have trouble with when they get in the ring with him. He's got more stamina than most people in boxing. Not just in the welterweight division, most people, most fighters in boxing. And he's one of he's like right now, regardless of division, he's easily top 5 pressure fighters in the game. Easily. Why would you not take that fight? Unless you're worried about the risk, which entails everything I just said. It's not because it doesn't make sense. You want to hold on to that belt as long as you can because a fight with Errol Spence is the biggest payday you'll ever get. And that's cool. I'm not judging for that. Every fighter should be out there doing that. We get in the ring and we risk our lives for this. So of course you want to steal as much money as you can before you go. But be honest about it, man. And what's wrong with taking a little extra money on the way? If you really believe you're the best welterweight, you'll fight Sean Porter while you wait for Errol Spence or Manny Pacquiao. Point blank, period. Take the fight, bud. Just take the fight. I feel like I'm talking to myself because y'all ain't talking. But I know I'm making sense. I know I'm making perfect sense. I just lost a subscriber, probably a Terence Crawford fan. At the end of the day, y'all know I'm right. Y'all know everything that I'm saying is facts. What don't you understand, Jesse? Come on. Respond swiftly. Everything. Everything meaning what? Do you watch boxing? Anybody who watches boxing knows exactly what I'm talking about right now. Okay, so that's where the problem lies. Y'all, y'all tell me y'all really believe that Terence Crawford is confident that he's the number one welterweight, but won't fight Sean Porter while he waits for Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence. Isn't Manny Pacquiao fighting one of the Garcias? One of them. Isn't that the case right now? I ain't heard Manny Pacquiao say nothing about no Terence Crawford. And if that was a fight he wanted to make, that would have been made a long time ago while Manny Pacquiao was still with PBC instead of him fighting Jeff Horn. So Terence Crawford already knows the Manny Pacquiao fight is out of the question for him. You see what happened with Errol Spence. The moment Errol Spence called him out, Manny Pacquiao said, sure, why not? And then ended up not taking a fight with him. Errol Spence did not call his name again. He didn't say nothing else about it. He moved on. He fought Sean Porter. And after that, he was going to fight Danny Garcia. Why are you lingering, bud? Fight Sean Porter. The only thing you have to lose is one belt. But you say you're so much better than Errol. So if you lose your belt, why don't you go try to take Errol's belts? I don't know, like, bro, his antics just don't seem like that of a champion, like, or some. Well, no, I take that back because champions do that. He doesn't seem like he really wants any problems with all the PBC guys, like he said. Even Danny Garcia got in a press conference and said, "Hey, if he wants to make that fight happen, let's go, let's do it." Like all this indirectly calling people out is stupid, bro. I want all them guys. Okay, how many fighters get out there and say they want everybody? Put them in front of me and I'll fight them. I want whoever they throw in front of me. It's too vague. Make that dude feel special. Call somebody specific out. Start calling Errol Spence's name again. What are you doing, bro? Fight Sean Porter and then post fight call out Errol Spence. Errol Spence ain't never ran from nobody. You seen what happened every time somebody relentlessly called him out. And don't forget, not too long ago, he was the guy calling all of y'all out, and none of y'all wanted to give him a shot. Terence, why didn't you fight him back then? When he was desperately trying to fight one of y'all. Why didn't you fight him back then? Now he's surpassed you as far as revenue, and now all of a sudden you want that fight and you want to be the A side. You want to make sure you get a bigger check than him. It's too late for that, bro. He's the cash cow now. At welterweight division, him and Manny Pacquiao. Pay-per-view sales, that's Errol Spence, buddy. And y'all can argue all you want to about Mikey Garcia did this and help with that. I ain't hearing it, bro. It was in Texas. I was at that fight. I was in that stadium. Bro, that stadium was crowded. Dallas is Arrow City, bro. And I promise you, there was way more African American fans in that arena than anybody else. And then out of the Hispanic fans, they were split. There were Hispanics with Errol Spence shirts on. I literally saw a fight after the fight. I saw two Hispanics fight each other because one of them had on an Errol Spence shirt. I ain't never seen nothing like that for Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford doesn't fight at bigger arenas. He doesn't pack out bigger arenas. He's not doing bigger numbers on pay-per-view sales. He doesn't have the better resume at 147, and he doesn't have as many belts. So who the heck do y'all think needs to be the A side? More belts, more pay-per-view buys, more fights at 147. Errol Spence has more of everything at welterweight division. He's the A side. You want to fight him? Be that B side. Tell Bob Arum to quit tripping. Matter of fact, tell him to promote you a little better so maybe you can get your pay-per-view sales up. That would help you out a lot. A whole lot. Like I'm sorry, but bro, just me specifically as a black man, I'm going to Al Heyman before I go to Bob Arum. Straight up. That's just what it is. People want to say that boxing isn't about race. It is. The fans make it about race. The fans make boxing about race. Look at the people that hate Deontay Wilder. They also hate Mayweather for the opposite reason. They hated Mayweather because of the sweet science and the fact that he wouldn't give him big knockouts and he was a defensive fighter. You got a fighter in Deontay Wilder that does not use much defense at all, if any. He's not super technical. He's knocking everybody out like y'all wanted Mayweather to do. Like y'all were saying he was a fraud because he couldn't do. Even though he was a knockout artist the whole first half of his career until he broke his hands. So y'all hate both them. You hate Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. You hate Gervonta Davis, and y'all hate the Charlos more than anybody. But I'm sorry, but them two twins is dominant. Yeah, they get real rowdy and they talk real crazy at press conferences, but they're out there winning. Canelo don't want no parts of them. Triple G don't want to fight the big Charlo. Jamal. What else needs to be said, bro? Until I start seeing them you sure right, Big LT. Until I start seeing these like Tyson Furies and Lomachenkos and Canelos stepping in the ring with the top prospects, which about 75% of them are usually black fighters, if not Hispanic fighters. So y'all start jumping in the ring with them instead of fighting all these people we don't care to see y'all fight. Like y'all don't have the respect, you want from me or any other fight fan like me, and I'm an avid boxing fan. Like I take this stuff seriously, like so seriously that I do it myself. I also box. Like it's a lifestyle, bro. Like knowing I would take a big fat L against the likes of an Errol Spence or a Terence Crawford or Sean Porter. If I was offered that opportunity within the next couple of years, I'm not saying no. Why are these guys that are proclaiming themselves as the greatest in the division denying these fighters? Tyson Fury ain't gonna fight no Luis Ortiz. But he is the bravest, I'll say that, because he's gonna fight Wilder again. So he gets respect. Maloma, you don't want to fight Tank. You don't want to fight Devin Haney. You're not gonna fight them two. Who's left for you? Facts, they just going to have to knock me out, period. You sure right, bro. Like, they're like, bro, do you know how stupid that check would be? Millions. Million like honestly, I think right now, if I were to get in there with the Errol Spence, bro, being the B side, that's at least 5 million. And then if you help promote the fight, bro, you getting revenue from that, ticket sales, all that. Like, bro, that's a lot of money. Very substantial amount of money. But for some reason, these superstars, these guys that are undisputed and the best at their division and all this crap, getting these franchise belts and all this BS, don't want none of the smoke. Don't want none of the smoke. I tell you one thing: if Loma don't see Devin Haney or Tank or Tevin Farmer or Gary Russell anytime soon, bro. Like, I'm done looking at that dude. I'm done watching him. Same with Canelo. If he don't fight Charlo or Demetrius Andrade, I'm done looking at him. And Terence Crawford, if he don't fight Sean Porter, I'm sorry, my brother. Always love for you, but if you're not gonna fight Sean Porter, I'm done looking at you. Just what it is, bro. Like, everybody wants to make PBC fighters seem like the enemies and all this stuff, but they're active. They shouldn't have to go over there. They got everything. That's like somebody throwing a party, and I'm throwing a party, and I got drinks, food, and I got a crap load of people over my house. And this dude ain't got nobody at his house at all. He ain't got no drinks. He ain't got no food. And he's telling me, hey, you and all those people at your party got to come over here so y'all can party. Oh, why don't you just come over here, brother? You know, we'll let you enjoy join in the festivities. Why don't you just come over here? No, y'all got to come over here. I'm the A side. My party's better. How's your party better? You ain't got nobody over there. You ain't got no food. You ain't got no drink. I got all that over here. That's the scenario we're looking at. Terence Crawford is that dude at a house party by himself, one deep, no drink, no food, telling all the people that are at this party with all this food and all this drink and all these people that they all got to come to his house. That don't make no sense, bro. It's not logical. Just fight Sean Porter. That's your gateway. You got one more year left in this contract with Top Rank, unless you made another deal that we don't know about yet. Once that's up, leave Top Rank, go to PBC. You become your own boss. You'll make more money. You got kids. That's a responsible thing to do for your family. You want to take care of your family, right? Go to PBC. If what Floyd Mayweather has done is not enough proof that Al Heyman makes bosses over there, I don't know what is. Forbes has Mayweather listed as the number one highest paid athlete of the decade, bro. He made more than LeBron James. He made more than twice the amount Manny Pacquiao made. 915 million in the past decade. So total revenue, he's in the billions. He's at a billion and something. And he didn't become Money Mayweather until he went to PBC under Al Heyman. He wasn't doing that with Bob Arum. Why you think he left? Why you think Oscar De La Hoya left and made Golden Boy? Everybody's career flourished once they left Bob Arum. So all this stubborn stuff Terence Crawford doing is only hurting himself, bro. Everybody at PBC is making more money than Terence Crawford. Bud need to fight Porter, Garcias, Manny, Lipnitz, Ugas next. I think Ugas would be a perfect fight for him. And I think if he called Ugas out, Ugas would fight him. That's a very possible matchup. Especially since he's being a little indifferent about taking this fight with Sean Porter. And Ugas has a very controversial loss to Sean Porter. Man, you speaking facts, my dude. Real facts. All I know is Terence Crawford is on his high horse, and he don't think he got nothing to prove. He thinks he should just be able to jump in there with whoever he wants to jump in there with and be the A side, bro. It doesn't work like that, bro. Errol Spence came out the trenches. Errol Spence came out the trenches. Ugas beat Bud in the amateurs 27-10. See? Uh, if you can get beat by a Ugas who got beat by a Sean Porter, and Sean Porter boxed that fight. He didn't pressure fight him. He boxed. He didn't do the whole bring the head down and get on the inside stuff that he normally does to fighters. He went out there and boxed Ugas and won. So, I think everything that everybody's seeing as far as what Terence Crawford is doing is just smoke and mirrors, like Errol Spence said back in the day. I mean, Top Rank clearly doesn't have the fighters that PBC has. PBC has Errol Spence, one of the toughest chins and toughest bodies in the welterweight division. He's proved that against Kell Brook and Sean Porter. He's got a mean body punch. I mean, I don't think anybody hits to the body like Errol. And the guy's got an IQ out of this world. He's the only fighter the past 5 years who's had that punch output ratio compared that he had with Mikey Garcia, where the guy couldn't land crap, but he's landing all these shots on his guys. Like he completely shut him out, completely white gloved him. And then you got Deontay Wilder, who's got this, they got the right hand given blessed to him by God. Like just you get hit with it and you're done. He's done it in the early rounds and in the late rounds. Like, I mean, those two alone, all I really need to speak about. Sean Porter is the biggest pressure fight in the welterweight division. Danny Garcia, real tough chin, real rugged dude, can crack a mean left and right hook. People usually just talk about the left, but he's got a right hook too. What do we have over on the top ranked side besides Terence Crawford? See, see, now you're telling everybody too much. See, now you're telling everybody too much. But you sure right. That's another thing. I can't stand people that'll jump up and go on and on and on about what this fighter will do and what that fighter will do against a fighter, and they never seem to go back far enough. Like I've actually been called. I can't think of verbatim what I've been called, but basically I've been called out for going back to amateurs because apparently amateurs doesn't matter. But then whenever we talk about Deontay Wilder never being knocked out, everybody wants to go to the one time he got dropped in amateurs. And in if anybody's actually fought, if anybody's actually had amateur fights, you already know it doesn't take much for you to get stopped in amateurs. You don't have to actually get knocked out. It doesn't take much to lose by way of knockout in amateurs. If your head pops back like this 3 times in a row without you answering back, you can get stopped. That fight gets stopped, and they call it a knockout. If they give you if you get hit with 4 or 5 good shots in a row, but you're still coming forward, the ref will stand between you guys and give you a standing 8 count. And if you can't walk to him with your hands up, or if you don't, that's a knockout. It's a knockout. I mean, what are you talking about, Jesse? Why would I do that? I'm on a roll. It's not what these are for, bro. Hey, I mean, y'all can tell me if this is not the truth, right? And one thing I will say is I guarantee you Champ Side is on the same page. I guarantee you Barbershop Conversations is on the same page. Matter of fact, I know he is because I'm subscribed to Barbershop Conversations and Champ Side. Well, I haven't watched Champ Side's videos on the Terence Crawford situation yet, but I know Barbershop Conversations has constantly been at war with people about the fact that y'all are sipping the Kool-Aid, man. Like y'all are really falling for the smokes and mirrors. Terence Crawford, like the fact that a fighter can come up to a division and fight four people that are not dominating the weight division. Not even top 10 in the weight. Well, I won't say that about. No, you sure right. None of them were top 10 in the weight division. None of them. He can fight those guys, and y'all say he's the best. He's the best welterweight out there. But Sean Porter, who's actually ranked number 3 at the welterweight division, gets beat by Errol Spence, and Errol Spence gets no credit. The number 3 guy in the division? Really? Are you kidding me? And I hate to sound like a stat junkie, but like, bro, this is real life. Like, y'all really let Bud Crawford walk in, fight fight 4 rinky dink opponents. Matter of fact, I'll say 3, because before he even fought Mean Machine, they were already saying he was the best at welterweight. So he fought 3 people. Benavidez, who had one arm and one leg, Jeff Horn, the paper champion, and then Amir Khan, who's known to have a glass jaw. He beats those 3 opponents, and y'all are saying he's the best in the division. Errol Spence went overseas and snatched that belt away from a bigger Kell Brook. Stop the guy. Stop the guy. Like literally KO'd him. It wasn't no TKO like Triple G did. It was a KO. He didn't go out on his feet. It was a KO. And y'all not giving that man no credit. He beat Chris Algieri. He stopped Phil LaGreco. Phil LaGreco didn't even get stopped by Sean Porter, bro. Any of the top 5 fighters on PBC would be Bud's best fight of his career so far. Amen. I agree with that. And people have the nerve to laugh at Danny Garcia when he said that. Like, bro, if Terence Crawford fought Keith Thurman, that would be his biggest fight. If Terence Crawford fought Adrian Broner, that would be his biggest fight. He hasn't fought anybody at 147 that will beat Adrian Broner. Everybody is so, oh, Broner trash because he lost to Pacquiao. Well, Keith one-time Thurman, the guy that used to knock everybody out with one shot, he got beat by Manny Pacquiao. So obviously, even at 40 years old, the guy hasn't missed too many steps yet. That's the only credit I'll give Jeff Horn, the fact that he didn't get knocked out by Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, Terence Crawford got dropped by that journeyman. And keep in mind, a lot of people will say that Adrian Broner is trash, but after the Errol Spence versus Sean Porter fight, everybody is showing Sean Porter all this respect. Even though Sean Porter beat Adrian Broner dropped him, stepping back. I'm just saying, y'all sleep on the wrong one. Adrian Broner was just smart enough to be like, hey, I'm done with this before I take too many more like losses. You know, he hasn't been willing to let his hands go lately. It's the only thing in his way. Sure did get dropped in his last fight. I got people sending me messages right now. Like, bro, get on the live and say something. Not my community chat. That's for when I haven't posted a video or I'm not on live. And another thing is they want to talk about the adversity Bud went through. Yeah, he went through a lot of adversity. But y'all wasn't talking about that with Mayweather. Oh, let me guess, because Mayweather was on top, right? So there's no way he ever went through any adversity. The man was used as a human shield when he was an infant by his father. We forgot about that, right? Grew up in a rough neighborhood, Grand Rapids, Michigan. You kidding me? I agree with that, bro. AB give Bud a fight. He different than other. Yeah, it's all right. Like, and don't get me wrong, like people, like Adrian Broner had a draw, and it was a well-deserved draw. I believe it was a draw. Even though Adrian Broner did look like if it would have went one more round, he would have took the win. Jesse Vargas wasn't a walkover fight, bro. Jesse Vargas can fight. Y'all are looking at the losses Adrian Broner took like he ain't fought nobody. He lost to Maidana, Pacquiao, Sean Porter. Those are his losses. He didn't lose to no nobodies, bro. Keith Keith Thurman had a controversial win over Sean Porter, and he held on to that belt with his injury for the longest. Y'all respecting that. Y'all know they trying to take Errol Spence belt away already. Already, guy got in a wreck a couple months ago, and they already trying to take the dude's belts. So y'all not gonna give him no time to recover. But y'all gave Keith Thurman all this time to hold his belts. And funny thing is, Errol Spence was the one calling him out for those belts. Him and Sean Porter. Yeah, bro. Like I can go all day about this stuff. Like the all the hypocrites and all the double standards and all this stuff. And right now, like Bud Crawford is the main guy. Yet like people assume that somebody's a boogeyman just because they're by themselves. He's not the boogeyman, bro. Why would Errol Spence not fight a Danny Garcia who has a better resume than Terence Crawford at 147? You tell me that. Why would Errol Spence not try to chase the Pacquiao fight just like Terence Crawford wants it, just like Keith Thurman wanted it, just like Sean Porter wanted, Danny Garcia wanted. Y'all all want the same things, but there's a line, bro. But you just got here. You're not finna cut the line. Errol Spence called all of y'all out. He's going to fight all of you. The first guy he wanted to see was Keith Thurman. He couldn't get that fight. Keith Thurman wanted no parts of Errol Spence. We're not looking for that no more. He went ahead and fought the next best thing, Sean Porter. He got that out the way. Next best thing after that is Danny Garcia. He's gonna get that out the way. Eventually, Manny Pacquiao is gonna have to be like, dang, it makes perfect sense to fight Errol Spence. The only thing stopping Pacquiao from picking one of them as a fight is because he still thinks he has a shot to fight Mayweather again. You're not gonna bring that man out of retirement. Do you really think that you're gonna get the Pacquiao fight over Errol Spence, Terence Crawford? Do you really think that you're gonna get the Errol Spence fight over Danny Garcia? And Danny Garcia is a mandatory, which is why I respect Errol Spence so much because he actually fights his mandatories instead of ducking and dodging and vacating belts to avoid the smoke like Canelo's doing. These are all facts, bro. Like, and when I upload this, I guarantee there's gonna be some people that have a problem with it. But oh well, bro, they can't argue it. These are facts. And what's his name? Mr. IOBTA or whatever. That dude could say what he want, bro. He just don't like Errol Spence no more because they've been on his and they've been jumping down his throat for him doing some sucker stuff. Point blank period. You with somebody one moment, then the next moment you're not. Once you build a small platform and then you say stuff like people can't F with you on your worst day, bro. I've been doing this for about almost 9 months now, 6 days away from 9 months. And 7 days away, a week away from 9 months, I've been doing this. And I already have way more views than Mr. LBTA and almost as many subscribers. And he's saying he the biggest thing, he's the biggest reporter out of Dallas on stuff. Bruh, ES News, Ellie Seckback has a big following. These guys ain't just represent one city. These guys are worldwide with it. Look at ES News following. Look at Champside following. Look at Barbershop Conversations following. Those are the guys I'll salute to. But Mr. LBTA, I'm gaining on you, bro. And I just started. You've been doing this for 4 years. I just started. But yeah, the reason why I'm jumping on Mr. LBTA right now is because he said so he jumped from the Errol Spence side, going in on Terence Crawford, saying this, that, and the other about Terence Crawford, to completely pulling a 180. And now he's saying Terence Crawford is that boogeyman and he's the greatest welterweight and F. Errol Spence and all them. And it's like, bro, you cover boxing, bro. So that means you're supposed to have some sort of IQ for boxing. You cannot say somebody that only has 4 fights and they're not reputable fighters. You fought 4 people that are not reputable, and you're now the greatest welterweight? Bro, y'all can give him the pound for pound. I think he deserves it. I definitely believe that Terence Crawford is one of the top guys pound for pound. Give him that. But at welterweight division, no, he's not on Errol Spence level. I'm sorry. And if he is, he hasn't proved it. Not to me, not to any other real boxing fans that have IQs. I'm just saying, bro. Like when you say stuff, it has to make sense. Because he lightweight was down talking Derek James. Yeah. Like, bro, like Mr. RBTA comes to my box. Well, he did come to my boxing gym every now and then when we still had Errol at the gym and when we still had Burley. Errol left a long time ago, but Burley left a few months ago, like 3 or 4 months ago. And he was over there. He used to be up in the gym, all in Burley's face too. But now he beefing with both of them, and making videos about both of them and stuff. I was like, bro, you live in the same city as these dudes, bro. Like, what you gotta understand is they let you record them and get your media for YouTube. They got you paid, bro. They put money in your pockets. And whenever you decided to start down talking them all on that platform that they gave you started taking money out of their pockets. That's some foul stuff. You don't let somebody pay your rent and then steal their rent money. That don't make no sense, bro. Like, bro, yeah, that Mr. IBTA dude, he a clown. There's no way for him to explain it to where it's gonna make sense to me what he did. Like it's one thing to cover what happened with the car wreck, but the way he covered it was foul, bro. Champ, is that really you? Talking about Errol Spence is hiding and all this stuff, bro. Like, don't do that. Dude got kids, man. Bro, dude then sold his soul for the sake of less than 3,000 subscribers that it took him 4 years to get. I'm just saying. It's facts. So now he on the Terence Crawford side, and Buddy never made sense to me in the first place. Like even before he did that sucker stuff with Errol Spencer Burley Brooks, like he was already a sucker to me. They make no sense to me. So like now that he doing that, now that he completely switched sides. Now I know I'm on the right side and thinking that Errol Spence has the one up on Terence Crawford, bro. Because the dude that don't make no sense is running around vouching for him, is vouching for Terence Crawford. And I ain't got no hate for Terence Crawford. Like I don't want y'all to get it misconstrued. It's just that I'm honest. I'm not gonna let somebody spread a bunch of BS and say things that are illogical, and then everybody just accept it. And it's funny because people that like Errol Spence get referred to as Errol Spence fanboys by Terence Crawford fans. How are we fanboys when y'all are over here hyping up this dude that only has 4 fights at the welterweight division as the best welterweight in the division? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. 4 fights at welterweight division. And he's better than somebody that's got 25 fights at welterweight division and 21 knockouts. Come on, bro. Errol Spence has knocked out more welterweights than this dude has actually fought. And I have to be a fanboy to say that Errol Spence has a better resume. Not only that, people talk down on Errol Spence beating Mikey Garcia. Well, Mikey Garcia moved up in weight, so they were the same size the night of the fight. And Mikey Garcia beats everybody on Terence Crawford's resume. If Terence Crawford fought Mikey Garcia, that would be his biggest fight today. Am I wrong? There's not a person on Terence Crawford's resume that will beat Mikey Garcia at 140 and below. Not one. Gamboa is not going to do it. And Gamboa is one of the best people that Terence Crawford fought. Yeah, bro. Like, that's why I only. Yeah, bro. Like bring like the non-biased people are the ones that make the most sense to me because they say what needs to be said, and then they don't do all that extra stuff like trying to talk down. Like, bro, people were calling Errol Spence a crash test dummy. Bro, like they're like y'all are trying to make somebody's tragedy humorous, bro. And that stuff's not funny, bro. So they replying to other videos. Ain't got nothing to do with this. Shoot. So all I'm saying is show me evidence. Show me evidence that that Terence Crawford is the boogeyman. I don't see it. Bro, people are talking. Terence Crawford then lost his mind. But he coming for Tank. Tank is not in the same weight division. But you're trolling Tank. Had no response for Errol Spence when Errol Spence told you, oh, okay, well, if Tank got to stay away from Haney and Loma, then you got to stay away from me. Crawford had nothing to say after that. And then Crawford don't want to fight Sean Porter, but he said he wanted all the PBC guys. So why don't you want to fight Porter? Yeah, bro, like, I guarantee you, he could fight. Terence Crawford could fight Danny Garcia or Sean Porter right now. Errol Spence told y'all from the get go, he aiming for the skies. If he can get a fight with Manny Pacquiao, do you know how, bro? Them two together will bring pay per view back to life, bro. Real talk. That thing, I have faith that thing would do 500,000 to 600,000 pay per view buys, and it don't matter what stadium it's at. That thing is going to be sold out. Like, bro, I was there when Errol Spence fought Mikey Garcia at the Cowboys Stadium. Bro, that stadium ain't even been that packed for a Cowboys game. And that's on everything I love. It was packed. There were people that paid to stand along the rails, bro. People were standing along the rails. Paid money to get in and stand. Not down on the field and by the ring. Nah. In the stands. They paid to stand in the stands. They weren't by seats. They were all the, like, bruh, you can't tell me nobody from Top Rank that's doing those numbers. Not at all. Ugas said over the weekend that after his fight next month, he going after Bud too. Bet. And Ugas is indeed a PBC guy. So I want to know what his excuse is going to be not to fight him. Is he going to say it don't make sense? How could it not make sense? This dude has beat you in amateurs. Rectify that loss. Since you want all the PBC guys. Man, my boy the Big LT is on point today. Y'all better listen. Porter lost 3 times. What the hell you talking about? And Danny Garcia lost 2. He ain't good. Okay, Black Jesus, if you know anything about boxing, you know that, for one, Porter's losses were to top ranked fighters. Not top ranked, not the promotions of top rank, but like top tier fighters. He lost to an undefeated Keith Thurman. Okay. He lost to an undefeated knockout artist in Errol Spence. And he lost to Kell Brook, who was dominating the welterweight division at the time. Dominating. He was the first person to take from the States to take a fight from Kell Brook. So he's not trash. Not at all. Porter is a dog who doesn't duck anybody. And Danny Garcia lost to Keith Thurman and Sean Porter. So in that little situation, that little trifecta, it's the best beating the best. Somebody has to win when 2 guys go into a ring. You must be a millennial, bro. You got to be a millennial. Sean Porter is a tough fight for anybody. Shoot, Ali lost 5 times. Mike Tyson lost 5 times. I can't wait to see this response. Because, I mean, if you're going to use that logic, bro, everybody that Terence Crawford beat has losses, except for Jeff Horn. And Jeff Horn didn't fight anybody but Manny Pacquiao. And it was a robbery. Amir Khan had been knocked out multiple times. There was a journeyman who hadn't fought nobody yet. And then Benavidez, who had 1 leg and 1 arm. So if you're going to use that logic to discredit Errol, bro, you have to use the same logic to discredit Bud. And you also have to discredit Canelo because he has a couple draws. He has a loss from when he was way younger, and he lost to Mayweather. You have to discredit Triple G because he has multiple losses. You have to discredit Lomachenko because he lost his first professional fight. You have to discredit Bernard Hopkins because he lost his first professional fight and he lost to Roy Jones Jr. So what are you saying? Everybody can't go undefeated, especially when you're not ducking nobody. So you want to take away the legacy of Roy Jones Jr., Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray, Pacquiao, De La Hoya, Canelo. Because most of the people I just named have more losses than Sean Porter. Pacquiao has way more losses than Sean Porter. Sean Porter's never been knocked out. Manny Pacquiao's been knocked out. You sure this is the war you want, bro? I do this. Shoot, apologize, brother. Big LT, tell him I want my apology, man. I don't care nothing about no. Hold on. Oh, I just got some more buzz on the cellular device. I'm gonna have to do a video in the morning too. Tell him again, bro. People just be saying stuff, bro. Danny Garcia only has 2 losses. That's like saying LeBron James is a garbage basketball player because he lost to Golden State a few times. Shoot, every basketball player in the world has lost a game. Every single basketball player, every single football player. And they have whole teams to back them up. With boxing, it's mano y mano. It's just two guys that get in that ring. One will win, one will lose. You don't have a coach to do a bunch of recruiting of top tier athletes and stuff to prepare you. Stand on your own merit. That's something Sean Porter does well. All right, out, brother. Appreciate you stopping by, my guy. Who was this that just joined us? Well, hey, y'all. I gotta take off. Oh shoot, dang. People are jumping off still. I'm not gonna dip on you yet. I gotta at least say something though. I just talked for an hour straight. All right, I fit in. Out.